Hey everybody, welcome back to Hex Token channel. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I see there's a few people excited in the chat. Always great to have you in the house. And of course, your host Superman. Let's get into it. We're gonna have a fun time looking at Hex crypto stakes explained, and of course we're gonna have a look at a few graphics there. Big shout out for Brendan for this one. Is a dedicated to Brendan out there. So very cool. Let's get into it. We've got a couple of people in the house there. We've got now. Woohoo! Good to see you, Japon as well, representing both Hex Token channel members. Love it, and pumping out those emojis are sure. Every time, nodding out, won't make it, but kick ass. That take name says Superman. Good one. That's now. And Oris, we've got a few people in the house there too. We've got Japon, yeah boy, Sandra Larson. My goodness, Sandra Larson. Seems like it's been a little while. Good to see you in the house there, Sandra. Superman, absolutely, man. Woo! From Sandra, looking good. So great to have you in the house as well. We're going to pick up a few people on the way. Let us close out of that. I've got a little thing up there. Now we've got Hex, obviously, Hex.com. This is our second video on this in the last 24 hours, I think. And of course, we're just highlighting some of the cool things with Hex.com. Hex, of course, is a cryptocurrency. It is an incredible community, really a huge community in crypto, super engaged community. Lots of diverse people in the community. You get a bit of something of everything. Really is pretty cool all around the world as well. So nice one. Basically, it's like a banking product, a certificate of deposit on the blockchain, but it's been enhanced with the old crypto enhancements there. So you can earn a pretty incredible APY paid out in Hex, of course. And of course, you can get Hex USDC pairs, Hex Ethereum pairs as well as the key liquidity for that. Pretty exciting stuff, though. The price of Hex, of course, pretty attractive at the moment, particularly for picking up a lot of Hex shares at the moment. We call them T shares or trillions of shares. So definitely, when you stake your Hex, you swap them over for shares. Your Hex gets burned in a burning mechanism, but you get the Hex back at the end of the staking period or investment period. Pretty powerful stuff there. So high returns, no minimum or decentralized design. Pretty amazing stuff there. Look at that, 466,737 wallets already own some form of Hex there. So it's pretty amazing. Almost 100,000 stakers as well. So you'd be joining a big family, a growing family. Pretty exciting. At the moment, of course, you're going to get 2 for 1. You're going to get a copy of your Hex on the Pulsechain when Pulsechain launches. Richard Hart, the founder of Hex.com, is also forking and upgrading Ethereum as well. So it's going to be a crazy time. We're looking forward to it. Super fast and super cheap gas fees as well. So definitely check out Hex.com. We're going to look at Hex stakes in this video, though. Hex stakes explained, and basically show how you can visualize that. Pretty simple, really, concept. So we're going to look at how you can put your investments over spread it out, your investment over a certain number of years. So we're going to look at a case study of about $5,000 worth of Hex. Obviously, you can do 2,500, whatever you're going to do. You can do $100,000 worth of Hex. Doesn't matter. You can spread that out over many years and have it like a form of passive income. And that's pretty important. And Hex, of course, longer pays better. So for every year that you stake your Hex, you swap it over for shares. You get 20% more shares for every year that you stake, up to 10 years, which is 3,641 days. And then, of course, you can actually stake longer, all the way up to 5,555 days. And many people do that because they're going to benefit big time with there being less shares around at that time. So they're going to get a lot more of the Hex rewards at the time too. So you could start off as a small little account and end up being quite a large account over that long period of time, 10, 15 years. So pretty amazing. And Hex, it does give you that opportunity. Obviously, how well you do in Hex is also based on what you decide to do and what everyone else decides to do, and how that plays out over time. So it's a lot of fun. Now we're going to get into some of the comments first before we get into a bit of the staking. We've got Pumpkin Owl in the house there, Go Pulsechain, and of course Human Hex Trafficker in the house there. What up, family? Good to see Human Hex Trafficker. It's funny, I do a video on Pulsechain, and people come in and they go Hex. I do a video on Hex, and people come in and go Pulsechain. It's a funny thing. Brennan's in the house there. I'm ready for this one. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, big. This is dedicated to Brennan Eslick there. The special one here on Hex staking. Sandra Larson, it's got the love out. I used to an alias. I've been here, says Sandra. I realize that, Sandra. I recognize the photo, but I hadn't seen that name for a long time. There's still lots of bears at the market. Yeah, the bears are certainly in control at the moment of Hex, of course, which means that you can pick up a lot more Hex. If the bulls were in control, you'd be picking up less Hex at the moment. So there's a pros and cons to that. DB Cooper's in the house. How's it going, eh? Good, DB Cooper, very good. Katie's in the house as well. Hey, all good to see you, Katie. Woohoo! Excited. That's right. So yeah, hexes are pretty exciting at the moment in terms of the pullback. Obviously, we always like higher prices, but if the prices are lower, it just means you can get a lot more Hex. If you get a lot more Hex, it means you can get a lot more T-shares, and therefore you can earn a lot more rewards over a longer period of time. And of course, longer pays better. The longer you stake out, the more of those rewards you will get. So here we are, hex.com. Let's jump over to the go.hex. This is the official front end or site for staking Hex. Now, there are other sites that people have done front ends, because remember, the Hex contract is sitting on the Ethereum blockchain, and of course, people can create front ends for those. So you can do that. In fact, that's what, there are other applications out there, but this is the official one, go.hex.com. And of course, you can access this via the hex.com site. Under links there, you can go find that. And of course, you can go to go.hex.com, the official front end there. As you can see, there are other front ends where you can actually do your investment staking. You can buy Hex, of course, on Uniswap through a number of mechanisms, either directly on Uniswap, or you can buy them on Matcher.xyz if you want to do limit orders and things like that. So there's lots of different ways of buying Hex that way. There's a few centralized exchanges as well. But of course, a lot of the people do trade on decentralized exchanges like Uniswap. So that's pretty much that. So here's the front end. Typically, all you have to do to make a stake is that you put the amount in. So let's say you put in 100,000 Hex, and you could put in, say, the length of 10 years. Let's say put in 3,641 days, the maximum bonus. You'll get all your T shares over here. So it gives you the T share calculation. You can see that when I put in 100,000, I got 20% bonus shares per year up for 10 years. So that's a 200%. And you can see that my 100,000 has now been added with the longer pays better bonus of 200,000. Pretty awesome stuff, eh? Pretty awesome. So you can see 200,000 there, and that's 200,000 the effective bonus. There is a bigger pays better bonus, but for 100,000, that's quite small. The maximum is 10% on 150 million. Stake there. Of course, we very rarely see anything like that. The last time we saw anything like that was, I think, the maximum stake. I think it was the last one that we saw that large. So obviously, there's a few other stakes that are short-term stakers, but in terms of bigger pays better, that was it. So yeah, we do see a few big stakes around, but not that many. The other thing is, so you get 200,000 Hex there. Effective Hex is 300,000 Hex then. So you get 100,000 that you staked, plus it rewards you for staking longer. You get up to 200%. This is the maximum period, 3641, and so you'll get 300,000 Hex there as effective Hex. So that's what the calculation is going to be based on in terms of getting your T-shares. The share rate, of course, is the share price, and of course that goes up and to the right every single day. That reflects kind of the rewards in the system, compound interest, and of course it means that you do better today than in the future. So someone can't outbeat you from that point of view in terms of returns. So it's pretty neat from that, and it also creates a bit of an equal opportunity to any investor coming at any point in time on average, sort of thing. So it's pretty cool. So we've got 22,740 is the Hex per T-share at the moment. It's just going to keep going up over time, and so it's better to get a T-share today. So we can see that our 100,000 will get the full longer pays better bonus of 200,000, which is 200% for 10 years, because we're staking for 10 years. If we stake for less, we'd get less, right? So this is the maximum. And of course, the T-shares that we're going to get is the 300,000 Hex, which includes a 200% bonus divided by the share rate of 22740, and that will give us a 13.192 T-shares. Now, the little yellow question marks here gives you a bit of extra information there. You can check those out as well. So that's how many T-shares we're going to get. And at the moment, we can get paid a certain amount of Hex per day, about 6.15, somewhere in that ballpark. We're going to get paid Hex per day. So if we had 13 T-shares, we can actually get paid about 6.12, or 6.15, somewhere in that ballpark. So 13.192 times the T-shares, Hex per T-share, which is about let's say 6.12, just to be on the conservative side. That's going to be 80 Hex per day that this T-share holding will get 13 times 6.2, so it's 80 hex a day times the price of hex at the moment of 0.52. That's about $4.20 a day that this hex stake will get if we want to do that. So that's kind of the basic way you normally would do a stake. All you have to do is put the amount in, put the days that you want to get in there, and of course you can click stake, right? Longer pays better, which means you're going to get higher APY the longer that you go. I think around about a year is around about 13%. And I think if you do monthly, it's typically like 11% annualized. Although today at the moment, the APY looks particularly high for some reason. But on average, it just goes up every year. And it might be somewhere up in the ballpark of about 38% at the moment, give or take a percentage point there on a 6.4 year stake. So, or 6.6 year stake. So longer pays better, the higher APY you get, but you have to, lock that in. Now you can't add to it once you've set up a stake. You can't add to it. You can't detract from it. So you can't add to a stake. You can only put it out at one period of time. So this is not flexible for some people. So what you can do is one of your options is a staking ladder. So you could split up your $100,000 over a different period of time, and that's what we mean by staking ladder. Maybe you want 10 stakes of 10,000 hex instead of one stake of 100,000. You can do that. And just remember that if you decide to break your stake, you can end your stake early. You'll get charged early in-stake penalties, and they can be very high. If you're out over 180 days, they can be up to 50%, and you have not got over 50% of your staking period through, you can get penalized on your principal. So you must be over 50% over 180 days for that. So just take that into account. There are two different penalty mechanisms over 180 days, under 180 days. Just got to take that into account. If your stake does mature as well, you've got 2 weeks before it starts getting penalized 1%. So you need to just take into account that you need to be responsible for your stakes, either early in staking, or if you just leave it and it's matured and it's going to get penalized that way with late penalties. So just remember those two penalties, early in stake and late penalties, and just manage that appropriately. Most people don't even have to bother. They just let the stake go to maturity. They end up in staking it or good accounting it, and for tax reasons. So there's two different options there at the end. But once again, just make sure you manage that. So that's pretty cool. That's not what people normally do, but of course we're going to look at a staking ladder where people actually want to split this $100,000 hex or $5,200 up into different stakes. So we're going to look at that. So let us go and do that. We are going to jump over to a staking ladder calculator here. And the cool thing about this, you don't have to log on or anything. This is all on the sites. Now, all the links to this in the video description, by the way. So you got all the links to these sites in the video description. I will post this particular one in the chat, though, if you want to get hold of that. Bam. So you'll be able to have a look at that. And there it is there. So that's the link here. This is care of Brenton as well. So a big shout out to Brennan. I'm ready for this one. So this is a special dedication for sure. So there we are. So we've got here how to invest. It's a pretty easy site. You don't have to paste any address. You just put in there. That's just a calculator. And of course, you can add in the hex there. So I've got 100,000 hex. Got the start date, which is obviously today. You've got the stake length there, 363,641 days. You can put any days you want in this calculator. You got the end date. It's going to be the end date there. You can put in the end date as well. What else can you do? First end date for the first stake. So that's the end date for the first stake. So the first one here. So you can actually influence when the stakes come out. You've got the end date for the last ladder there, obviously after 10 years there, and number of stakes. We've got 10 here. You can put any number you want in. And of course, then you're going to have the end date there on the 29th of May, 2032. We're going to have hex per stake there is 10,000, just a simple 100,000 there, divided by 10 is 10,000. Each stake step of the ladder is 364 days, and effective total effective hex is going to be 210,000 there in total. It also breaks it down by year that you've got there, or by stake length that you've got, and the end date of those, and the amounts of the effective hex. Also, you can see it graphically in the ladder there. It's got your stake returns in the orange, and it's got your total returns aggregated there in the pink. So that's pretty cool. So you can see it on the pink there. The one thing I think that might have here, yeah, we click that, so you can actually click the top. It will delete one of those two things if you find it too confusing. You can delete one of those. It will just show you the stake returns there for each year. That's pretty cool, and that also shows in here as well. So very effective there. You might see it in table form or on a chart form. Pretty neat there. You can take that off too and put back on just the aggregated and see how that accumulates over time. That's pretty neat. Or you can add back in the orange as well. So you can play around with that on the chart. Nice to see that. That's what you can do. You can obviously do less stakes. Maybe you want to do 5 stakes, or just make the graphical for you. So it's a cool little tool. Now there are other tools like this around, but this is a very good one. We looked at one yesterday, which is more, I guess, it gives you a few bits of information, extra information. It's a bit more graphical in some ways. It's more of a basic version, but it does the trick. So you can put in any time you want. Say maybe you only want to do 5 years, or maybe you want to do longer. Maybe you want to do 5 for 5 years. You want a staking ladder for the maximum period, which is 5 for 5 5, and get all the maximum bonuses. This will change that around. So maybe you want to still do 10 stakes there. It will give you a different ladder here. So that's pretty cool. And you can see it's going to put it over the remaining years. And of course, you get the maximum amount is 10 years more for the shares. So it's going to be flat at the top. So it's pretty cool. And it's going to give you a different staking ladder there, coming all the way up to 2037, which is 15.2 years away there with the effective hex. So it's pretty powerful stuff there. Remember, normally each stake would be 10,000, but of course, longer pays better. You're going to get the effective maximum bonus after 10 years. That will be 30,000 hex. And of course, you're going to get the maximum T-shares from that point of view and hold that maximum T-share all the way through 15.2 years. Remember, the share rate's always going up and to the right. So you're going to get, you're going to hold these T-shares at today's value. Imagine what the T-share rate's going to be in 15 years' time. People will be getting dramatically lower T-shares. It will be probably B shares or M shares by that time. And that means billions or millions of shares rather than trillions of shares. That's what I mean by you could start small, being a little tiny investor, and by the end of 15 years, you'd be a pretty large one because the number of T-shares that will be at the end will be relatively small. You know, we're talking maybe I don't know, maybe 2 billion or something, or it's going to be pretty small. Actually, it's a good. I haven't actually added that up, but we've got the couple of people like the Hex Godwell out there and a few others. So it'll be interesting to actually do the exercise. I might think about that. It's on the actual chart. You can actually read it for yourself. Pretty easy thing to do, but we won't get distracted here. So that there is your staking ladder, which you can visualize. It's one cool tool. This is just one tool of many. Hexladder.web.app. I think it's pretty cool. Once again, if you're happy with staking ladder, you can always do it manually here too. But there are other sites to do staking ladders automated. So very cool on that one. That was a special one there for Brendan there. I hope you enjoyed that one. You also got the Hex calc, of course. We've talked about this many times. You can do your calculations. Just take into account that this is based on 6 hex per T-share. The current rate is 6.12 or something like that. In fact, we can pull that up with the Hex daily stats. So we'll do that while we're at it. And yeah, so you can calculate that. We also have covered this in the previous one with 10,000 there, 100,000. We're doing 5 stakes. Of course, you can view that too. I'm not sure why that's not viewing actually. There it is. So this is a different form of looking at a staking ladder. So it gives you the same sort of years projected over different times. This here, you can actually change the prices of Hex in the future, and of course the Hex per T-share payout as well. Those are the 2 things that you really want to care about. You can see the values, overall values change at the top. And of course, you can see the stakes here as well. So you got a couple of different tools between this one here and this one here as well. This one here, you can connect your wallet up, of course. And probably do the stakes through. Haven't actually done that, but you probably can do that. So cool, that is it. And of course, the daily stats there says that the payout per T-share is currently 6.127. So it's pretty close to being right there at 6.12. So that's where it is at the moment. Obviously, it can be higher than that with penalties. You get penalties on top of that as well. So that can actually be quite lucrative over time as well on top of that. So your payout will likely be a lot higher than the calculators are showing in any case with the penalties coming in, which we typically get pretty good penalties. I suspect we're going to get great penalties over the life of Hex, particularly in the next 3 to 4 years. I suspect that will be probably the really bumper crop of penalties coming out of those who are staking long term. So pretty cool. And I think that's probably it at the moment. Obviously, you get the price of Hex is 5.2 cents. A very good bargain price, I think. Still trying to find price discovery on the big pullback, but I think it's getting pretty close. The T-share price, $1,182 for a day stake. But of course, if you get that maximum and longer pays better 200% shares, that will be a third of that price, which is a pretty good price at the moment. If we work that out, we can just go 1182 $1,182 for one T-share divided by 3, because we're going to stake it for 10 years. That would be $394. So that would be pretty cool. The T-share rate, as I say, 22,741, and a payout 6.127 Hex per T-share. So as we showed in this example, if you do 100,000 even just for one stake rather than a staking ladder, you're going to get like $4.20 a day at the moment based on the Hex price. Obviously, the Hex price triples, quadruples. That $4 becomes $8, $12, $16, etc. per T-share. For your T-shares that you've got there, the 13. Pretty cool. So I hope you guys like that. That's just another way of looking at some of the tools that we've got. Now, if you get into Discord, you'll be able to see all the useful links here. We've got tons of different sites here that you can go to in terms of Hex and see different information. And layman's guide, if you want to learn more, you can check Hex Wiki and the layman's guide there. I think that was by Kyle the Dev, layman's guide. You can check out all the main contracts in Hex, the Hex front ends here, GoHex that we looked at. And you can actually look at the contract of Hex on the blockchain, which you might as well have a look at here too. So this is actually the contract here for Hex, which has got contract ends in EV39 there. You can see Hex there as well. And you can go click on the contact there, details there. You can actually look at the read-only functions of Hex there. A few of these are no longer required. Some of them have gone goodbye with the AA lobby ending in 2020, but some of the functions are still obviously operate continuously. You got a write contract as well. You can actually, instead of using a front end, you can actually connect via Web3 and use some of these functions here. You can start a stake, you can end a stake, all good stuff there as well. So cool. There is lots of functions you can do on the contract itself. So that's pretty cool. And also the code is over here on the left. You can read through the code on the blockchain there. It's pretty good reading. Good luck to you for that with that. So cool. That is pretty much it on that one. So let's get into the chat. Say hello to a few people that have arrived. This is how we roll on this channel. We just roll through the topics and then get on to the next one. We're going to jump onto this poll though, because the poll's pretty interesting. And I'll refresh this, and you can see the poll there. What else we got going on here? We've got a few others. What else we got here? We got trying to catch up to where I was before. Pumpkin House says we're all liking the entire Pulsechain ecosystem for what it promises to bring, including the first RH project Hex, which has proven itself even in this bear market. Hex is a buy. DCA baby. That's right. Right on, says DB Cooper. Great show today, says Property Review. I appreciate that. Hex PLSD in the house as well. Woo-hoo-hoo. Crypto Theos in there. Let me just make sure. Let's go. Let's have a look at this one. Bam. Got to get my chats in the right order here. All right, cool. 11:41 p.m. in Idaho time. Laying in bed, just happy to be with this community. Hey, nice one, Crypto Ethos. Day down under. Hope that you don't fall asleep to my melatonin voice. Go Pulsechain, absolutely fantastic. A staking strings, Hex PLSD. Hey, it's a lot of fun. Hex staking, man. Staking ladder. That's how we roll. Limit order set, says Crypto Ethos. Nice. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. We're going to look at the Hex charts in a minute. I'm going to jump over the Hex and all the charts that we normally be covering on this channel. We cover them pretty religiously on this channel. So yeah, Katie's in the house there with the bread and the ducks. Let's tap the like family. Yeah, definitely smash the like. Hit the subscribe button as well. Just liked. Nice. 1:41 p.m. here in parts unknowns is DB. And we still haven't worked out where that is. DB Cooper, is it somewhere special? Hope so. This is the time work, share, tweet, support, DCA and stake. Absolutely. What's up, boys? Hex Fiddy in house. All good, Fiddy. Two Fonz in house as well. Yo, Superman. Get explanation, says Superman. Hey, thanks, Brennan. What's up? Just finished the new Strange New Worlds. Great episode. We'll watch that tonight there, Briz. I'm going to watch that tonight. So it's good to see that's a good episode. Fingers crossed. I'll give you my review tomorrow. You know I'm pretty straight up with that one. Look forward to it. Smash likes. There are OG charts. Yeah. Brennan says, boop, boop. Yeah, smash the like. Anyone see Altcoin Daily interview with some clown dissing on X, Pulsechain and Richard Hart? No, but I did see some BitBoy talking about he's going to deal with the gatekeepers. So I'm looking out for that. But I'll may follow that up on the Altcoin Daily one there, DB. Once we create a staking ladder, can we add more hex to each stake? We won't know, Pumpkin Owl. Yeah, as I said in the earlier, you cannot add to a stake once it's in. Hello, how are you all? But you can set up another stake, right? So you can set, that's what staking ladder is about. Lies beneath there. Hello all. Hex, Hex, PLX for the one. Absolutely. And smashing out the emojis. Lies beneath. Great to see you in the chat there. So here is our latest poll. And of course, we had this, I've heard people talking about people, wanting to dump. I actually think, there's always dumpers and stuff like that when Pulsechain launches and things like that. But I wanted to ask a poll just to follow up on that most recently. So I'm going to let this poll run through to tomorrow. It's only being launched for an hour. We've got 105 votes already. So after Pulsechain launches, what will you do with Pulse token, PLS? And we've got one sell PLS on an early pump. We've got 16%. So there's, that is a decent amount. That's kind of where I feel that the percentage is probably going to lie, is around that mark. Probably be slightly higher because obviously certain people that watch this channel are probably more Hexkins, Pulsekins in heart and deed. But I think there's a pretty good indication. Want passive income from PLS, 11%. Now, I've been talking about that quite a bit, that I think a lot of people want the PLS. We've seen that in most of our polls. Buy accumulate PLS, 10%. And passive income, buy accumulate, 38%. So if we add all those up, 11, 38, that's 50, 60%, I reckon. I reckon that's around 60% buy, accumulate, passive income. So it's, that's a pretty good mark there on that. So that's 50, 60%. HODL PLS do nothing, 24. So if you add that 60, 85, really got 85% of people based on who these 105 votes so far that are pretty, going to pretty much hold fast there. We've got accumulate buy PLS 10% is compared to 16%, but we've also got the 38% there too. So we really got 58, almost 60%. This is 16% going to be accumulating, at least in the audience that watches this channel. I do appreciate that, some speculators and traders out there, they don't watch much content apart from maybe trying to pick up a few things. They're really just after the pumping gains in the short-term play. So I do appreciate that. But I think this just shows you that things are a little different. People are wanting to make passive income. They want to accumulate the native token of Pulsechain. So I think it bodes pretty well in my view. It's not to say that we're not going to have pullbacks. We're going to have pullbacks. We're going to have volatility. But I think that we're going to have quite fierce buying, quite fierce holding, and people really do want that passive income. So let me know in the chat what you think. But I thought I'd do that poll. We'll see how we get on tomorrow after 24 hours. There's a good chance that we could get some pretty high votes on this. So hopefully we'll get up to at least 500 votes by tomorrow when we come back on this poll. Cool. Let me know in the chat if you want any other polls or in the comments after this video. Let me know any other polls that you're wanting to ask as well. What else did we got to? Aquaman says, any thoughts on soulbound tokens? I have no idea what you're talking about there, Aquaman. You'll have to give us some idea what you're talking about there. Thanks, DB Cooper, says Pumpkin L. Yep, you're fine, says DB Cooper. Nice. All right, so that's pretty much that. Let's pick up all the charts there. We're going to close out at hex.com. We're going to close out at go.hex.com, which is where you stake. We're going to close out of Hex Ladder web.app, which is where you do the staking ladder. It's just like a visualization. Very, very cool. You can play around with all the inputs there. And of course, they'll be representing the graphics. We're going to get out of Hex Count, which is a good way of giving an indication of what your APY is going to be. But of course, always read the little I informations there, plus all the fine print, just so that you get an idea of that. This is a little bit conservative, so just to let you know that. And of course, also stake hex.today. And so we're going to close out of that too. We're also going to close out a Hex Daily Stats that gives you all the stats about Hex every day. You can see them down the bottom here. Every day they go through all the stats. We go through them often on this channel. So you can check that out too, Hex Daily Stats. And of course, all of these are in a Discord here under useful links. So if you haven't joined Discord, hit the link in the video. We're almost 18 people away from 500 people. So definitely get in there. You get access to pretty cool links on there. We've also got new crypto projects as well, new links. And I've just tied this up a little bit. So obviously I did a video there on the top 25 passive income projects on Pulsechain, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And of course, I've just tidied up these links here. So we've got all these links that you can get access to. And I've just added in win-win finance today. That actually looks pretty attractive to me. So just on first impressions, that actually looks like something that could actually be quite good. So we might talk about that on another live stream. That was talked about on Magic Carpet Ride today. So if you want to check it out on there with the team, they had 3 members of the team there. But I actually kind of liked that straight off the bat as first impressions. So definitely something to think about there as well. There's lots of other projects there. Many of these have sacrifices attached to them. So you can see what those are. Useful Links has that at the bottom. If you want to see the sacrifices that are on, you can go to Pulsechain Sacrifice Project Results. And that will give you all the projects that are currently being sacrificed. Now, I thought that people would be quite tired of the sacrifices, but we did a poll yesterday in the chat, and 50% of people said that they would still sacrifice for good projects. So I was not quite 100% on that one, that tone of the market. So just goes to show you, polls can give you a little bit of a reality check there. But there's all the ones that are currently in play at the moment. These are my 3 strong ones. I think these are all utilities. So they add, bridges and stuff like that, and AMMs, swaps like stuff, swaps, AMMs, and bridges. So I think these are kind of the strong utilities. The rest of them are more speculative as well. Now, I'm not sure actually when the win-win sacrifice is coming up, but we'll keep you addressed of that when it does. Pretty cool. All right, we're going to pull up the charts. Before we do that, let us get into, Katie says win-win sounds interesting. I think so, Katie. I do think so. So I might cover that tomorrow, actually, is one of our topics there. Once I've had another look at it, we'll pull it up. So let's pull up the charts on Hex and see how the Hex price is, since we've been talking about Hex staking. Obviously, it's a pretty good price to get into. Now, the bottom's not in yet. I think we've got a pretty good chart indicators up there for that. So the bottom's not in here. We're on Dex Tools with this chart. Our chart's telling us that the bottom's not in. And so it could just move sideways though, right? Doesn't mean to go down further. Just could go sideways. We've obviously our low so far has been 3.6 cents. You can't see it on this chart, but that's pretty much it. But we're watching the EMA 13 EMA in yellow and the red 50% red price range of the Bollinger Bands. We do have a narrowing of the Bollinger Bands, albeit it was pretty wide up the top here, but we've still got a gap here of what have we got a gap here of what's that, 6.3 and 6.7 cents. Is it 6.9 cents, so 7.3, so 6/10 of a penny of a gap. We're waiting for this to cross over. This could take quite a few days yet to do that, unless we get a nice big green day. So I still expect, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 days, somewhere in that ballpark. If these keep closing, because they are closing, that we might actually reach the bottom and get a reverse. I think this will be the last time, unless, of course, Bitcoin breaks down. Then that's assuming Bitcoin stays up where it is at the moment, because obviously it's regardless of it's a bit like the ocean in crypto. If Bitcoin moves down the whole, it's almost like all the boats go down with it. So yeah, we're just got to take them into account. So $30,000 for Bitcoin and 1,800 ETH. I'm assuming that we hold, around these positions, plus or minus, $2,000. That's pretty much where I'm saying. And so that's where we're at the moment. So these yellows here, we're wanting these two to move together and cross over. We can see that in the chart here previously, when the yellow crosses over the red, we get a nice reversal. We also get another reversal here as well. Why do I think it's probably the last one, assuming the market holds, Bitcoin market and stuff holds, is because if we take it from the all-time high here back on the 19th September and we run back down to, say, 3.6, which we've only hit once, that's a 93% pullback. So that's pretty severe. Don't imagine we're really going to go below that, unless, of course, Bitcoin decides to go down to 20, down to 22, 23,000. Then I think the 1 cent is in play for Hex. So it may get a lot cheaper there. But if it doesn't do that, we're looking pretty good. Also, that's assuming Bitcoin. If we get also the alternative is if we get positive news from Richard about Pulsechain launching, then he can forget that. We've got green candles is going to be in play, is my guess from that, depending on how Richard gamifies that. Of course, we don't know when Pulsechain's going to be, so that's a big unknown at the stage. We don't even have anything like an idea at this stage. So we'll just have to play that out at this moment. So my earliest time frame, obviously, maybe July, August, possibly. With the code rewrite, typically you have to have a lot of testing afterwards, a bit like an iceberg. You rewrite the code, it's like the top 10% you see, but the rest of you, the 90% underwater is all the testing you have to do to make sure it all works perfectly well. That being said, of course, we don't know what sort of gamification Richard's up to. He's up to playing a certain amount of gamification, with possibly the market conditions, or possibly just when he wants to particularly launch, have everything ready as well, not just the coding, but the gamification too. So, lots of food for thought there, but that's where we're at the stage. 5.2 cents to pick up Hex at the moment. Pretty nice, as you can see, pretty good deal. And for a 10-year stake, that's $394 for a 10-year stake to get a T-share at the moment and get 6.127 Hex per T-share. Pretty badass, if you ask me. Pretty good. All right, so that is the Hex chart there. We're going to jump over to pull up the quad charts, and I'm going to jump into the chat just so I don't get too far behind. Stephen D's in house. Happy Friday, Superman. I'm looking forward to mine tomorrow. Hey, nice to Stevie D. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, Friday here, Friday for you tomorrow. The weekend is upon us already. It is currently 6:06 p.m. in the evening here on Friday, the 10th of June, in the future, bringing you Hex in the future. That's pretty much Hex in the future. Also, could call the daily show Hex from the future, something like that. Now, I know that Matty Allen thinks that he's pretty cool with his DeLorean and telling you to buy more Hex from his future video if you haven't seen that. But of course, I am literally from the future compared to you guys. So this is actually in real time. There's no fantasy. There's no Dr. Was it Dr. I can't remember his name now of the Back to the Future. I am completely out of fiat. We'll take a loan if we go to 1 cent, though, says JV. Yeah, I cannot smell or taste anything, says Human Hex Trafficker. You might want to see a doctor. I want to see a doctor for sure. 100 hours a week. Wow, you're a working machine, Stevie D. Yeah, that's pretty amazing, working 100 hours a week. Yeah, that's what Stevie D said. Been a huge week doing 100 hours a week to collect my dry powder. Nice. That's going to pay off in the end, though, isn't it? That hard slog. Projects is in the house there. Good morning, Projects. Good to see you. But I'm going to twerk tomorrow. Says you're funny, man. I see that Jim Rat Crypto's done this twerking video. Now, normally I don't talk about too much social media, but I couldn't help to laugh at that video that Jim Rat Crypto did of him twerking in his some room or something. But he was trying. I think he's trying to do the Richard Hart twerk challenge or something like that. That was pretty hilarious. Perhaps it says I think Richard wants to launch Pulsechain with a low Hex price. The chart will look more nicer. One bottom bear market, 2 Hex price at its lowest. Yeah, there's a certain amount of people hold that theory there. Doc Brown, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Doc Brown. Thanks for that, Chris. Hello. Excellent choice in the house. Woo! And Stressful Struggle as well. Damn, we're still wrecked, says Stressful Struggle. Damn. Hey, look at your cup half empty there, Stressful Struggle. You got to be cup half full. Picking up the cheap Hex there. Hey, did that just what I'm on Hedron at the moment? So let's jump over to the quad chart. That was Hedron that we're just looking at. Hedron is certainly selling down cheaper from the looks of it. So let's have a look at Hex on the hourly. We're going to look at Hex on the hourly here. So that's Hex on the hourly. They're at 5.1 cents at the moment. We're a couple hours ago up at 5.5. Is this correct, this chart? Yeah, okay, 5.4, 5.5. And this looks like identical to the chart that I was doing in the first live stream, right? It looks pretty similar because we were up here, 5.4, and we were talking about the Hex chart back in, I can't even, this got a different time zone, but definitely looks similar. We got Hedron, though. Hedron has pulled back, broken its support, support around 500. It's now 450. Was it 500? Now 450. Hedron is gone down. It's a shame, really. Hopefully it will get that bounce. It's only so far it can go, can it? Surely. We will see. At this moment, though, it is a buyer's DCA dream at this stage. We'll see at what point it gets to find the bottom, though. With this kind of chart, it's pretty hard to know when the bottom is, right? My goodness, look at that. That is pretty interesting. Let me know your thoughts on Hedron. I really would appreciate that. I can't draw too much from that other than when bottom on that one. Obviously, it could be a great gain for those people that do pick the bottom. Could be a pretty epic gain. Here is Maxi at the moment. Maxi at 9 cents. 9 cents. Maxi's still looking good, man, on the whole. And of course, the switch, we're going to switch to the premium and pull that up because it is looking like a boss. Look at that, man. That thing's just performing like a boss. Oh my gosh, 72% premium. I have a feeling a good chance this could break to the upside. Let's see how we go. We've got a couple of comments in here. Sandra says he needs to practice. Yeah. Talking about Jim Ray Crypto, yeah. What's fresh? Says Hex down. Hey, Hex down. Good to see you in the house. Fresh Suit Man. What's fresh Suit Man? Well, we're just looking at live time prices. Dave Down Under says, don't know where he got his info from, but yesterday Crypto 7 said he heard that the new coding was 80% done. Well, he may have got it from the Telegram devs chat there, Dave Down Under. So he may have got it from there. Maybe someone on the devs chat talked about it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, Dave. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that is the case. But once again, you need a lot of testing after that, right? That's the thing. You need a lot of testing. But that's positive. 80% is good. That's getting there. We look at the Richard Hart's stuff. We're going to look at the bookmarks through here, and of course, this were the updates that we had in time. We had Pulsechain update on the 23rd of May. The validator rotation slashing delegating code has been mostly rewritten. That was the 23rd of May, so 80%. That's probably in the ballpark. We're looking now at the 10th of June. So this is 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's probably pretty ballpark on probably where it's at. And partially implemented native Go outside the EVM. It's not in Solidity for much higher throughput. So that kind of has a good feeling. That stat that wouldn't be surprising as well. But once again, you want a source, right? You always want a source to this. Did he give a source? Let me know. You always want a source for that. Even if it's saying I heard it from the devs in the Telegram chat, dev chat there. Cool. Then the 4th of June there, with Pulsechain update for non-English speakers still being programmed at validator rotation. So that was the 4th of June. So that's 6 days ago. So that still fits in pretty well with the 80% coding stuff there. So that wouldn't be too surprising as well. So cool. What else have we got there? Hexon's choice says, just bought Hedron at this price. I more than doubled my amount. Well done, excellent choice. I do think it will find a bottom on the Hedron. So it's just a matter of where it is. So hopefully that turns up being the right price, the Hexon choice after the breakdown from 500. Hex Down Under says, RH will launch when the time's right. Patience, my young pad ones. Nice one, the Hex Down Under. Pumpkin Owl says, love Maxi. Yeah, Maxi performing like a boss. Look at that thing, man. 72. Now, is it going to break out like this yellow? I just have a feeling about it. And I know that if Hex does have a little pushback, could you imagine this premium? Man, I thought we might get over that too. The 200 solid over 200 there. That's kind of the next place for it to go is the 200. That would be something. Man, oh man, that's really cool. Look for more product innovation from the Maximus team. Now, Pulse Dodge coin. Woohoo! Finally had a little smash up there on the daily. We're up at $3.09. Is it making another go? Is it going to do it? Or is it too soon for another move up? I think it's slightly too soon, like to really break out, but not too bad. It says $3.10. Now, charts like this with the relatively low supply, a so-called whale syndicate that actually no one breaks that syndicate. It just takes one, right? No one breaks it, and of course the price can really moon. So we'll watch this pretty closely. Remember, we are just under 50 days now to go. Was it 49 days something to go to the end of the launch phase? Game is on. This is going to entertain us for the next 70 days at least for the Pulse Dodge coin there, $3.10. Stay tuned for that. All right, let us jump away from that. I think we're done most of those. The BNB chain, of course, we're going to look at BNB at $2.91. So that's up $4 from when we did our first live stream at $2.92. And of course, on the BNB charts, it's been ruthless on these charts. Honestly, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch, honestly, on these BNB charts. I shouldn't laugh actually. I feel a bit insensitive about laughing, but it is. It's pretty carnage out there. This is the Pulse Dodge, the original. It's at just over 0.5 cent. And of course, still trying to find a place to move up from. and of course P33. This actually has the relationship with Free Pulse, or a relation to Free Pulse, obviously their ecosystem at 2144. This probably got a chance of a better rebound than the other one if they can cross-pollinate that audience on Free Pulse over to P33. I'm not really not really hanging out in that audience, so I don't know too much. Let me know if you have any insights about that. IM wallet here having a little bit of a push higher, obviously pretty low too. All the charts look pretty similar, right? But at least this one's having a bit of a go at trying to get higher. 813, the low at 732, so not much off the low, just a little bit green. That's probably it. We'll see whether they can actually get back up as well, but it's certainly not the lowest it's been. We've seen the lowest back all the way back here, so it's still not quite that way on the IM. Now, obviously, I sacrificed for the new token, which is the IMD token, which is going to be the wallet for internet money. That's obviously a much better proposition. It's not just a meme coin thing. It's an actual utility. A wallet utility. It will run up against, I guess, it's going to run up against StakerApp, but not in the same way. You run up against the users, but not because StakerApp, the profits go to the team, right? But this internet wallet, that's going to go to us, the holders, and I like that. I like that a lot. So that's going to be pretty positive. We'll be definitely talking about internet wallet on this channel. I can say that much. That's pretty much it. But the other thing is that we will have the Heart wallet come out. So that's probably the more serious competitive challenger. Now, Richard, I think, has got 2 devs working on that already. We are expecting a sacrifice for that too. Sacrifice is going to bode very well for that circulating supply in Hex. We talked about that. If you take Gunther's numbers, they are around about 17.7 billion. Of course, eating up more of that is going to be very important over the next, say, 3 or 4 years. We can do it through more Hedron contracts, more Maximus contracts, more Flex contracts, which is coming up. We can do it through new Hex investment trusts, new whales coming into the system, retail adoption, all that sort of stuff, Pulsechain, things like that. So we've got lots of things that can do that on both chains, right? On both chains. So we'll be watching that pretty closely, as well as the sacrifices, the wallet sacrifice. So that's a nice way of accelerating that approach as well. I don't know, what would we get for a wallet sacrifice? 500 million Hex sacrifice? Let me know in the chat what you think about that. Would we get 500 million? Could very well do. So yeah, going to be good. All right. And of course, on top of that, future inflation, we get the OA doing some more stakes potentially, changing the APY, getting more of the rewards, lowering the relative inflation. What else? Obviously, people are going to, if the price of Hex goes back up to anywhere near all-time high or higher, we could see a lot of penalties. This is what I'm expecting over the next few years. A lot of penalties, the next 3 or 4 years, a lot of penalties, and a lot of that stuff, 50% goes to the OA wallet. That's basically off the market. So you can see how all this can play out, how that circulating supply just squeezes down. We're already seeing 11 billion down in a year on year. Imagine that over the next 3 to 4 years. We just never know how scarce Hex is going to get. Now, Wales only has a chart showing the Hex getting scarce all the time. I imagine that's just going to be amazing in the next few years. There's going to be obviously these boom and bumps in the price, but yeah, it's fascinating. Really is fascinating, isn't it? Just to think of where this is all going to head. Hexam Choice says, is anyone still on the board for when the launch will be? We've still got you're talking about the sweepstake. Is that what you're talking about? The sweepstakes? Let's pull that in. Where is it? Launch sweepstakes. We've still got the board up here. Actually, we're up to the 10th, so we have to take the 9th off now. So these guys are all off. Hasn't launched yet. Bam. All right. So that put us Pro Hexer. I think Pro Hexer's in the chat. Pro Hexer in the chat? No, can't see Pro Hexer there. Get Hex Island 369's out though. Of course, we've got the second round. We might have to do a third round. We may have to do a third round another day. We could do that tomorrow, right? We could do that tomorrow. We might do another update tomorrow. Now, this is the first round of people in white. They were in the first round. The second round, people in red. And of course, we did that over 3 days of people in red. Actually, I should make that not red. Make that white. Make that red. Bam. All right, so that's sort of red there, and of course we might do a third day where we choose the winners. There's not many people left from the first round. Look at that. There's only a couple of them left. How many is there left? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people left from the first round. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. 7 people left, man. That's insane. Obviously, second round is not too bad. Second round there is so far only second round, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 out of the second round have been knocked off. So there we are. We might have to do a third round, give you another chance as well. But that's a good point there. Excellent choice. Crypto7 delivering pizzas soon, says Human Trick Joe. Delivering pizzas? What does he mean by that? I know that Exologist has done the pizza thing for Hex way back. Don't buy pizza with your Hex. Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. Was it Dog Days 1 billion? Dog Days 1 billion. 454 Hex will buy a $25 pizza, says Pumpkin now. Yes, September launch is Hex Down Under. Yes, Pro Hexer, 24th of June. 24th June. Pro Hex, you're not even on that one there with their Pro Hexer. We might do that tomorrow. Pro Hexer, I don't even see Pro Hexer on there. No, Pro Hexer. I don't think you're on there. I thought, yeah, maybe you were on there earlier. Maybe you're on there here earlier here, Pro Hexer. Maybe you're back here somewhere. But yeah, we'll probably do that another day. Probably do that tomorrow. I think so. Pumpkin Owl says a big miss on Pulse launch guest, way off, says Pumpkin Owl. Hey, all excellent in there. Good to see it. Pulse Beta in our house as well. Good afternoon, super. Man, I lost the second round too, says Briz. Were you already out on Briz on that? I think you were too. I can't actually see you on the second. Oh, there you were too. There you are, 7th of June. Yeah. Slowly knocking people off. We might have to do a third round. I'll have to do a different color though. Excellent says, check it out. You can search all RH comments from his YouTube's live streams. Yeah, well, we looked at that. That's on Discord. I have posted that. I tweeted that, the tweet there. Hex staking ladders. Oh no, it's that one. Hi Hexkins. I just launched the Hex Search.io. Allows searching through Richard Hartwin's videos. Locate precisely what the certain word was mentioned. So that's cool. That is now in useful links. So if you want to go to useful links, you can actually see that. That's at the top under Hex links. So if you want to see that, you can actually go to Hex Search at the top. Search RH vids with keywords. Bam, away you go. And of course, you can type any word that you want to get in there, and it will bring up the videos. So you could type in. Can you do that? I'm not sure if you can do that from there. Staking a lot, so it gives you all Richard Hart's last videos. It'll give you the staking references. Now, it may not be perfect, but it'll be pretty close. I think it'll be pretty close. It may not pull up every reference, but it's probably pretty close to doing a pretty good job there as well. So you can pick up lots of different videos on staking. Maybe you want to look at, let's see if it does AMM, the AMM bot there. Maybe it does. Yeah, it's got AMM, so no one can stop the game. Price Fixer AMM, Price Fixer bot. So if you wanted to go all the references to that, you could quickly pull all those, and maybe you want to understand, hear Richard talk about a certain topic again. You could do that. So yeah, hexsearch.io, pretty cool for sure. So you can definitely check that. I'll post it in the chat though. Save that to your favorites, I would say, if you want to go back on some of Richard's videos. Come on, Pulsechain devs, step it up, says Briz. Yeah, I'm with you there, Briz. Pulse is ready. RH probably just waiting till the time market sees it down. Yeah. I'm guessing I'm too much of an optimist in the house, but late, but not too late, says Hardy Exploring. Good to see you, man. Good to see you in the chat. All right, so that is that. We've got the Hex at the moment. The Hex is at 5.2 cents. It seems to be stuck in time there. Seems every time I look at it, it's 5.2 cents. But this is the way it is at the moment. We zoom in on that. Waiting for our big green candle over here. Bring it on. All right. I think that's it on this stage. How are we doing? We're going to actually, I've got some videos, so let's go do that. Let's pick up the video. Boom. Video time. Hopefully I've got the right one queued up here. Where'd the video go? I can't even remember. What did I call it? It must be this one here. Let's look at this one.
I think I'd still be writing the survive book. Probably the better name because the sci-fi name didn't hook so good. But before I came out and started doing YouTube videos about crypto, I was just doing YouTube videos teaching people to have better relationships, give better apologies, be healthier, happier, and I would just keep doing that. I was already retired, so just trying to make the world a better place.
Yes, I think that was the question that Richard was asked about what would he do if he hadn't gone into crypto or something like that, because he'd already retired, remember? So yeah, if cryptocurrencies never existed, what would you see yourself doing? So that was number 5, day 5 of 7 there. So that was from Richard. That's what we just listened to. Yeah, I think that was it on there. We are waiting for Rack and Michelle's going to do a new price prediction. He's teased it out at the moment. So should I post an updated Hex PLSX prediction from its future all-time low? My predictions are dynamic, not static. Yes or no? So he's had a ton of people answer that. 178 people responded to that. So that's going to be something fun to wait for. We'll wait for him to pull it out. Hopefully they'll be out tomorrow too. So hopefully tomorrow might be quite an eventful day tomorrow. We might have Liquid Loan Sacrifice possibly out. We might have maybe a price prediction from Rackham, Rochelle, Overwatch. And what was the third thing I was going to say? Something else. We'll have another video out from Richie, that's for sure. Rich. Lions, Lies Beneath with the emojis, smashing those out, looking good. What upcoming films are you looking forward to, Superman? Well, I haven't seen Top Gun 2 Maverick yet, so I've got to watch that. I love sci-fi, so for any sci-fi stuff. Disney's trying to wreck all our movies, so it's hard to watch Disney movies now. It's also hard to watch a few other movie stuff too. So it's getting harder to find good movies. And since I've watched so many reruns, it's hard to watch reruns too, because I've been, because there's so much rubbish movies coming out, I've had to watch a lot of reruns, and then I've gone through a lot of those. So yeah, probably Top Gun at Maverick at the stage. I think Avatar 2. I think Avatar 2 is coming out. That might be something I want to see. Might see that. Let me know in the chat what good movies you think are coming out, because you may have seen a few teasers that I haven't seen. Let me know if you know any good sci-fi movies coming out. I'd be keen for that. Hit the likes is excellent choice, absolutely. RH for the win, says Lies Beneath. Yeah, absolutely. RH for the win. All right. What have we got here? Some useful links here. So I think that was it. We're going to jump back to there. And it said check our polls here, where our polls got a bit updated. 132. I mean, we got it from 105 to 132 votes. Nice. We'll check in on that tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have over 500 votes. That'd be cool. The more votes we get, the better implications we can infer from that, for sure. So we'll check that out. Yeah, what else we're going to go to? Don't forget, of course, if you want to join Hex Token channel, we've got the join button there. We've got 3 memberships. We've got Pulsechain, Xcom, and Richard Hart Club. So if you want to support the channel as we promote Pulsechain Hex and Pulsex, definitely join up. The other thing, of course, is if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the bell for future videos. That's for sure. It looks pretty cool. I like the new colors I've done. I think they look quite snazzy. I'm going to be doing more pre-recorded videos. It's kind of my focus to do more pre-recorded videos. So you should see me, if I'm successful, pump those out as well. So there'll be shorter pre-recorded videos, maybe 5 to 10 minutes or long, that sort of thing. So look out for that. All right, cool VIP, as we said, cool VIP. We're jumping away. Yeah, let's go back to the Hex charts. We're going to leave it on here for a little bit. I think that's where we're at. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if the contracts were 80% done. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. Excellent choices. Join the Discord. Definitely join Discord. We're heading towards 500 people. Pretty cool. So if you like good community and good information, it's a good place to be. You drop in there anytime and have a chat as well. There's lots of knowledgeable people in there, so good place to be too. There's our prices at the moment. Yeah, Pulse Dodge Coin looks like it might do a little break higher. It just looks like it might just do that. Hardy Hex Loin says we should all we all should. The new movie coming out soon. How Hex made me a millionaire. Yeah. Well, the highest of stakes may end up being a TV series. Who knows? That would be cool. It's a sequel, part 2. How Pulse made me a billionaire, part 3. how Pulsechain changed the life of my family forever. Yeah, that's true. I like those. I think that'd be pretty good. What we work out on PulseX, remember the numbers, I did a video on that. You can find it on this channel, and that was if nobody sold, that there would be 11,500 millionaires if nobody sold their PulseX, and of course there would be 18 billionaires if none of the large whales sold their PulseX. If we reached what did I say? I think it was 1 cent. Yeah, 1 cent. If we reach 1 cent on PulseX, pretty big numbers. Obviously, we will get a certain amount of people selling, so they won't get quite that bullish stuff there either. So yeah, nice one. Pulsechain. That's almost Pulsechain. It's almost like what Gen Hex does to me. Posts these words like, what the heck? Pulsechain. Oh boy, that's a tough one. That's hilarious, man. You got me good on that one. All right, that's where we're at. Hey, we could just come up on an hour, folks. It's 6:30 p.m. here right now. I hope everybody's having a good time. Don't forget DCA. The price is still not in yet. We can see that on the chart, the Hex price bottom, so it could still get a little bit lower. I always talk about limit orders, so you can do matcher.xyz for that. Now, if you jump to useful links here on the Hex Token YouTube Discord, remember there's a syndicated Discord between Gen Hex and Irons Crypto, and it's now. And you can actually get to the limit orders. I'm just trying to find where they are now. Back up here under financial markets. Here they are, market trading. You can jump over to limit orders down the bottom here, and you can go to Matcher or Metric Exchange, which has a bit more information with the order book in the front end, or app.1inch, although it excludes US citizens apparently. So there we go. You can actually connect your wallet and start trading and put limit orders in there. You can see limit orders there. You can't do Ethereum on the limit orders. You have to swap your Ethereum to wrap ETH to do limit orders. Otherwise, you can do limit orders all on other tokens, USDC, etc. You can do all those sort of things in terms of setting limit orders for buying Hex, which is pretty cool. Remember, you're going to get 2 for 1 for the Hex. Pretty good deal at the moment, 2 for 1. That's a limited time until Pulsechain launches, and then of course you have to buy separately on both chains. Just the way it is, folks. Just the way it is. But definitely, I've done a video, of course, on the chat here on this channel on how to use the Matcher. If you want a bit more detail, Matcher YouTube video sitting underneath there. If you want to check that out too. If you're, generally for people that are more newish to crypto, as opposed to you seasoned pros out there that know all the tricks and have traveled cross chain on many occasions and done many things like that. So cool VIP. 50.16 cents. Damn. All right. There we go. We'll just zoom up on that. That's Hex on the top left, right, Hedron on the right, Maxi on the bottom left, and Pulse Dodge Coin on the bottom right there. Just for reference. All right. We're going to pull up some more inspiring videos from RH. We're probably going to go through to about an hour and a quarter. So we're going for another 12 minutes. We're going to post in a few videos in the meantime. And we'll have a look at this one here. I thought this was quite a good one. This is about Pulsechain, I think. No, it is about crypto.
I think Tony Robbins' seminars are pretty great. He doesn't have everything perfect, but he's got it 80% right. So maybe his finance stuff isn't that great. Maybe his health stuff's okay. But his Date with Destiny, Unleash the Power Within, human needs psychology, that kind of stuff. I think that's really his best material, So if you can go to the $3,000 or $5,000 Date with Destiny event, it's a great event, And that guy's had his own name as his own brand for 30, 40 years or something like that, and it's worked out pretty well for him. I always said, if you're going to be in the self-help game, learn from the guy who self-helped himself the hardest and has the best. He's the most successful success guy. You're he's obviously doing something right. I think that I improved on a lot of his stuff, and you can read it for free at t.me/sci5. Free self-help books. Read them. They're good. I wrote them. And I look, hey, worked out okay for me.
That was the Tony Robbins one. That wasn't the one I was thinking of. That's hilarious. I think we got the other one. think that was it. Was it the one I was thinking of? Poor food. No, not poor food. Food, RH devs. I think this one here. I'll play this one.
So there is no such thing as perfect security. Perfect security, you have a ratio between the amount of effort you put into being secure and the amount of effort that people are using to attack you. And then you have what's called attack surface. The more places that you have to secure, the less secure a thing is. Hex was more easy to secure than a lot of things because it has a limited number of functions, and most of those functions timed out. So for instance, if there's a flaw in the referral program, that doesn't exist anymore. So it doesn't matter. If there was a flaw in the adoption amplifier, it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't matter. And so by restricting the number of functions and making the code immutable so that it can never change, it allowed us to be extremely secure, which is why we've never had an inflation bug. We're extremely resistant to inflation bugs, but Bitcoin's had several inflation bugs. Monero's had an inflation bug. XLM's had an inflation bug. Ravencoin's had an inflation bug. Coins have inflation bugs, which basically means you can mint as many free coins as you want all the time, but my coin doesn't. It's a superior design. Now, Pulsechain, we're using the most secure software that's out there already, which is Ethereum. It's never had an inflation bug, and we're fixing a lot of things. The code that is Ethereum isn't perfect, and we're making it better than what we got.
That was one of them. I got one last one, I think, so we're going to play that last one. There is another one, but I'm not going to play that one, I think.
I think cryptocurrency is one of the few things in the world that could really return power back to the people. Every year you get less and less choice, your money's worth less and less, your hours get longer. It seems like almost everything's getting worse. And crypto is one of the few things that lets you extract yourself from that horror. You can participate in the world's highest performing asset class. You can participate in trustless peer-to-peer revolution in finance where, you know, there's no banking hours. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's you and the code. You know, nobody else can stop you from cashing out. Nobody else can stop you from doing what you want to do. And, you know, when you give people the power to create good things, they quite often do. A lot of innovations come from cryptocurrency. There's things you can do in crypto that you can't do anywhere else in the world. And I'm proud to be part of that revolution.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite one so far. So this is the highest stakes little videos they're putting out every day. And they're up to day 5. That was the first one we saw. But I think that's probably my favorite one so far. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah. Very cool. So we're going to jump over to... where's it going here? Can't remember where I was going to, actually. But we'll probably just stay on the chat there. Let me just get into the chat. Say hello as we wrap up. We're going to wrap up soon. So definitely get in there. If you've got any questions or anything like that, get in there. Yeah, I saw Rag to Riches on the first live stream earlier today. He looked a little bit under the weather there, but he managed to get out of the live stream. So big shout out to them. I hope that Rag to Riches gets through that cold or whatever he's got there. So yeah, that's how it works. We've had nothing from Liquid Loans yet, so we're waiting for that. That's probably the next big thing. I think that's pretty it. We're getting pretty low there. I might have to start doing some modeling. I have to start getting into some modeling here for sure. I might get into this. I'll play the user testnet. This is Liquid Loans user testnet video from CC.
Been coming up recently has been about the testnet, and will people see Liquid Loans on the testnet anytime soon?
Yeah, so the guys are working really, really hard at the moment to get all of that up and running. And the difference here is that we didn't really want to push something out ahead of time. So it's got to be pretty much complete. And one of the things that will help us on that journey is to make sure that we've got active price calls. So the guys are integrating, obviously, Pulsechain is one mechanism that we'll use. There's another mechanism that I won't go into a lot of detail now, but it will provide some redundancy for being able to make price calls against Pulsechain. And the guys are working hard to get that finished. So my expectation is that we'll end up seeing something in the next couple of weeks. The rationale being, we don't ever want to release anything before it's really ready. And, you know, I think the community appreciates that when we deliver content, it's actually of high quality. So we're not going to rush anything out until the protocol, basically the system and the DApp are actually up and running fully, and that we can actually allow people to fully test what we've developed.
So that was like, I think it was around the 12th of May. So obviously with Pulsechain getting further out now, they've obviously taken a bit more liberty to get things right. So hopefully we'll see at least the sacrifice balances maybe tomorrow. I'm hoping tomorrow will be good, or Sunday. Obviously I'm a day ahead here, so still the next couple of days for this week. But Matt talked about us getting access to that this week. Would be pretty cool. And of course we'll be covering that on this channel. And maybe we'll get the user tester interface out at the same time or just afterwards. We look forward to that. So cool. Boom. All right. I think that's where we're at on that one. I think I had the final one. We're going to rock this out, of course. So coming up a few more minutes. That's the last one I got there. Have we got Matt and Bali in the house? Is that true? Is that true that we got Matt and Bali in the house? I think we have. I think we might have Matt and Bali in the house. Hello all. Hey Matt, good to see you, man. So groovy to have you in the house. So everyone say hello to Matt, man. Welcome, Matt. Good to see you in the chat. Hope things are good in Bali now in terms of the weather and things. Hopefully that's holding up for you. Woohoo! All right, what else have we got in there? Got this one. We're going to play my favorite one now. So if you think that the prices are down low, we've got this little K4K video. It's quite pretty funny about the Hex price action in the house. So we'll look at this.
Hex went up 500%, and then it crashed down 40%. And then another time, Hex went up 10,000%, and then it crashed down 56%. And then another time, Hex went up 450%, and then it crashed minus 75%. And another time, Hex went up 13,400%, and then it crashed 87%. Moral of the story is, don't buy Hex, because you know it's going to crash.
That was pretty funny, that video. I thought that was pretty hilarious. So nice one there, K4K. Katie says, you got this. Absolutely. Nice. All right. So how are we doing on there? Yeah, Lies Beneath laughing at that one. Yeah, that's true. It's pretty funny, man. We're going to kick it out, though. We're going to play 2 more videos on the way out. And we've got, at the moment, we've got Hex at 5.1 cents. And what else we got going on there? Hedron at 450 at the moment. Woo! 450. We got Maximus at 9 cents, holding up pretty strong, like the boss it is. Pulse Dodge there made a little bit of a move back up to $3.10, looking still pretty strong on Pulse Dodge as that one. So they're looking pretty good on the prices. Let us get into this one. This is actually my favorite one. I think you guys might agree with Richard Hart there in Iceland. Let's have a look at this.
Craziest part of the helicopter is when he does his turns and you're like hard to the right, hard to the left. Just, I don't know, maybe he thinks it's more fun than just kind of like going like that. You can tell how far up we are because the trucks that move all of the land and the earth around doing mining and stuff, they look like little Tonka toys. They're like little yellow dots. When the engine stops, you die straight.
The pilot has a heart attack. Who's jumping in the seat, me or you?
You, because you're closer. And you've flown on an airplane before, so it's you. True. I'll complain though from my side. From my side, I'll be complaining.
Watch that mountain.
So some interesting stuff there for sure. As we go, I just realized I forgot to add myself back in there. How about that? That's funny. Matt says, thanks, man. Appreciate it. No, you're welcome, Matt. And excited again. Their mothers are amazing. They are amazing. So it's good to see having loved ones around you like that is a really, really special. We're thinking about you there, Matt. So cool. Great to see you in the chat for sure. We're going to rock it out here. We're coming up to now 15 minutes. We're going to rock on in here. I'm going to play out some party, some Power City pump music on the way out. So enjoy the dance party, folks, as we end this live stream. I'll be back tomorrow for 2 more live streams. So watch out for that. Hopefully we'll have a bit of news about liquid loans. And maybe Overwatch price prediction for Pulsechain and Pulsechain. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let me just find out this the music here. Here we go. Power City Core. And of course, this is going to be one of the better projects in my view. Watch the space on this one. Cool. All right, everybody, take care out there. Have a good night. It's dinner time here in good old New Zealand. I'm going to get myself a pretty nice, tidy dinner, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be watching some sci-fi movies. You know me. That's how I roll. Take care, everybody. We've got a bit of stuff there. KD says good night, all. Hey, good night. See ya. Bye for now.